The night was quiet. Too quiet. Ethan walked slowly along the dirt road near the forest edge. He worked late shifts, and this road was his shortcut home. The moon was hidden behind dark clouds, and only a few stars watched from above. The wind moved the trees, making soft sounds that followed him like shadows. Ethan did not believe in fear easily. He was a simple human, a mechanic by trade, living a quiet life on the edge of a small town. Nothing strange ever happened here. Or so he believed. Then he heard it. A sound. Very soft. Very weak. Ethan stopped walking. At first, he thought it was the wind, or maybe an injured animal. He listened carefully. The sound came again, short, broken, and almost like a breath. He turned toward the forest. "Hello?" he called out. No answer. He was about to walk away when the sound changed. This time it was clearer. It was not an animal. It was a voice. A tiny voice. Ethan felt his heart beat faster. The voice did not come through his ears alone. It echoed inside his head and scared. "Daddy." Ethan froze. His breath caught in his throat. He had no children, no family nearby, and yet the voice sounded real, desperate, lonely. Slowly, he followed the sound toward the trees. His boots stepped over roots and fallen leaves. A few meters inside the forest, he saw something strange on the ground. A sack. It was not made of cloth or leather. It looked old, dark, and unnatural. Strange symbols were burned into its surface. The sack moved slightly, as if something inside was breathing. Ethan's hands trembled as he knelt down. The voice came again. "Please." He opened the sack. Inside was a baby, but not a human baby. The child was small, fragile, and wrapped in thin fabric. Its skin had a soft glow, pale blue, under the moonlight. Its eyes were closed, but faint lines of light moved under its skin like quiet stars. Ethan staggered back in shock. This can't be real," he whispered. The baby opened its eyes. They were large, dark, and full of fear. The child did not cry. It did not scream. Instead, it looked at Ethan and reached out with a tiny hand. The voice returned, clearer now. "Daddy, don't leave me." Ethan's fear broke into something deeper. Pain, loneliness. The baby was cold, weak, barely alive. Someone had left it here to die. Ethan looked around, his eyes searching the dark forest. "Who did this?" he asked, though no one answered. As he lifted the child gently, the baby relaxed in his arms. The glow around its skin softened. The fear faded slightly, replaced by quiet trust. Ethan did not understand what this child was. But he understood one thing clearly. It was alive, and it needed him. Suddenly, the ground vibrate. Ethan felt it through his boots. A low hum filled the air, distant but powerful. He looked up at the sky. Far above the clouds, lights moved. Not stars. Ships. Silent shapes slid across the night sky, their lights cold and searching. For a brief moment, one of them stopped, as if sensing something below. Ethan's blood ran cold. "They're looking for you," he whispered to the baby. The child tightened its grip on his jacket. Fear returned to its eyes. Ethan did not think. He ran. He ran through the forest, branches cutting his arms, roots trying to trip him. He held the baby close, shielding it with his body. The hum in the sky grew louder, then slowly faded as he moved deeper into cover. After long minutes, he reached his small house at the edge of town. He locked the door, closed the windows, turned off the lights. Inside the silence, the baby rested against his chest. Its breathing was slow and uneven, but it was alive. Ethan sat on the floor, his back against the wall. "What are you?" he asked softly. The baby did not answer with words. Instead, a warm feeling filled Ethan's chest. Not spoken, felt. Safe. Outside, far away, the skylights vanished. But Ethan knew the truth. whatever this child was, whoever had abandoned it. This night was only the beginning, and the galaxy had just made a terrible mistake. The baby slept quietly in Ethan's arms. Morning light entered through the small window, soft and pale. Ethan had not slept at all. He sat on the chair near the bed, watching the child breathe. Every rise and fall of the tiny chest made his heart ease a little. The baby looked peaceful now, too peaceful for something that was left to die. Ethan noticed new details in the daylight. The child's skin was smooth and faintly blue, with thin glowing lines that slowly faded in and out. Its hands were small, but the fingers were longer than human fingers. Still, when the baby moved, it felt gentle, familiar, human. And not human. Ethan reached out and touched the child's forehead. Warm, alive. The baby opened its eyes. For a moment, Ethan feared it would cry or panic. Instead, the baby looked at him and smiled. A soft feeling filled the room, like quiet happiness. Ethan felt it inside his chest. Not a voice this time. A feeling. He stayed. Ethan swallowed hard. "I'm here," he said quietly. "I'm not going anywhere." The baby made a small sound, something between a laugh and a breath. The glowing lines on its skin brightened for a second, then faded again. Suddenly, Ethan felt dizzy. The room seemed to shift. His vision darkened, and another place appeared in his mind. Cold metal floors, harsh white light, tall figures standing in a circle. Aliens. They were thin, sharp, and towering. Their eyes were black and empty. In the center of the room was the baby. Smaller, weaker, crying. One alien spoke in a cold, flat tone. "This unit is defective." Another replied, "It shows emotional bonding patterns. Dangerous." "A failure," said a third. "Unfit for service." Ethan felt anger rise inside him. He wanted to shout, to stop them. The memory continued. The baby was placed into the sack. The sack was sealed. No care. No mercy. "Dispose of it on the human border," the alien leader ordered. "If it survives, it is not our concern." Darkness. Ethan gasped and fell back in the chair. The vision vanished. He looked at the baby, his hands shaking. "They left you," he whispered. "They really left you." The baby's eyes filled with confusion and fear. It sensed his emotions and reacted. The glow on its skin pulsed wildly. Ethan moved quickly and held the child close. "No, it's okay," he said softly. "You're safe now." Slowly, the glow calmed. But something else happened. A small symbol appeared on the baby's arm, faint, almost invisible. It blinked once, then disappeared. Ethan did not notice that far away. Deep in space, a signal awakened. That same night, Ethan noticed strange things. The baby never cried. It communicated with feelings. When it was hungry, Ethan felt it. When it was scared, fear touched his heart. And when Ethan smiled, the baby glowed. The bond grew fast. Faster than normal. Too fast. Ethan tried to think clearly. "I can't take you to a hospital," he said. "They would take you away." The baby looked at him, trusted him. Ethan sighed. "Guess it's just us, kid." The baby reached up and touched his face. Again, the word echoed in his mind. "Daddy." Ethan closed his eyes. Outside the house, the night sky changed. High above Earth, hidden beyond clouds and scanners, dark ships drifted silently. A cold voice spoke. Inside one of them, "The signal has reactivated." Another voice answered, "The child lives." "Track the human," the leader ordered. "Retrieve the asset." The ships turned toward Earth. Inside his small home, Ethan rocked the baby gently, unaware of what was coming. The aliens had made a choice. They had abandoned the child. Now they were returning, and this time, they would not be gentle. The first sign came at night. Ethan stood near the window, holding the baby close. The child was calm, resting against his chest. The room was silent. but Ethan felt uneasy. A strange pressure filled the air, like the moment before a storm. Then, the baby stiffened. Its small fingers grabbed Ethan's shirt, tightly. Fear. Not Ethan's fear, the baby's fear. Ethan felt it rush into him, sharp and cold. "They're coming," Ethan whispered, though he did not know how he knew. Outside, the sky darkened. Clouds moved unnaturally fast, twisting into circles. A deep hum vibrated through the ground, strong enough to shake the walls. Lights appeared above the town. Blue, cold, watching. Ethan's heart pounded. Alien ships. Not one. Many. They hovered silently, hidden from most human eyes. But Ethan could see them. He could feel them. The baby's fear guided him. Ethan stepped away from the window. "No," he said quietly. "Not tonight." He grabbed a small bag and stuffed it with food, water, and clothes. His hands moved fast, but his mind raced. He had no plan, only one rule: protect the child. Suddenly, the baby cried out, not with sound, but with pain. Ethan gasped as a sharp pulse went through his chest. Something touched the baby's mind. Scanning. Searching. Ethan felt anger rise. "You don't own him," he said through clenched teeth. The baby's skin glowed brighter, reacting to Ethan's emotions. The lights outside flickered. High above, inside the largest ship, alien figures stood around glowing screens. "The bond is confirmed," one said. "The human has formed attachment," another replied. "Dangerous," the leader hissed. "Terminate. Resistance. Retrieve the child." A beam of light shot down toward Ethan's house. The windows shattered. Ethan turned and ran. He burst through the back door and into the woods, holding the baby tightly. The forest swallowed them as the beam struck the house, burning the ground where he had stood seconds before. Trees caught fire. Earth exploded. Ethan did not look back. The baby clung to him, its glow dimming as fear drained its strength. "It's okay," Ethan whispered while running. "I won't let them take you." Behind them, shadows moved between the trees. Alien hunters. Tall, thin, silent. Their eyes glowed faintly as they followed without sound, stepping over fallen branches like ghosts. They did not rush. They did not need to. They believed humans were weak. One hunter raised its weapon. Before it could fire, the baby suddenly reacted. A pulse of energy burst outward. The ground shook. Trees bent away. The hunter was thrown back, crashing into a rock. The baby went limp. No, stay with me," Ethan said, panic in his voice. He hid inside a shallow cave, covering the baby with his jacket. He pressed his hand against the child's chest. "Breathe. Please breathe." Slowly, the baby inhaled. The glow returned faint, unstable. Ethan exhaled in relief. Outside, the hunters regrouped. "The child is unstable," one said. "The human is amplifying its power," another replied. "Then remove the human," the leader ordered calmly. A cold certainty filled the air. Ethan felt it. They were not hunting anymore. They were executing. Ethan stood. His legs shook, but his eyes burned with anger. "I'm not a soldier," he whispered. "I'm not special." The baby stirred. "But I am human." Ethan picked up a rock and threw it hard into the trees. The sound echoed. The hunters turned. Ethan ran the opposite way. He led them away. Blasts tore through the forest behind him. Dirt and fire flew. A shot grazed his arm, burning pain into his skin. He screamed, but kept running. Inside the cave, the baby's glow strengthened again. Something changed. The baby opened its eyes. Clear, focused, not afraid. Far above, alarms rang. Inside the alien ship, "The child's energy is rising," one alien said sharply. "It's learning," another whispered. Ethan collapsed near a river, his strength fading. He looked down at the baby. "I don't know how to save you," he said softly, "but I'll die trying." The baby placed its small hand on Ethan's chest. A new feeling passed between them. Not fear, not pain. Resolve. The hunters stopped at the river's edge for the first time. They hesitated, because something had changed. The abandoned child was no longer alone, and the human was no longer weak. The river was cold. Ethan knelt at the water's edge, his breath heavy, his arm bleeding from the alien blast. The forest behind him burned in silence, orange light flickering between the trees. The hunters had stopped for now, but he knew it would not last. Aliens did not give up. He looked down at the baby in his arms. The child was awake. Its eyes were no longer filled with fear. They were calm, watching, learning. The soft glow on its skin was steady now, not wild like before. Ethan felt something deep inside him shift. This was no longer about survival. This was about choice. I don't know why they want you, Ethan said softly. I don't know what you are. The baby placed its small hand on Ethan's chest. Warmth spread through him. You stayed. The feeling was clear. Ethan swallowed hard. Yeah, he whispered. I stayed. He wrapped his jacket tighter around the child and stood up, ignoring the pain in his arm. The river flowed fast beside them, cold and loud. Beyond it, the land rose into rocky hills, hard to cross, harder to track. Good. Ethan stepped into the water. The cold bit into his legs, but he did not stop. Every step hurt, every breath burned. But the baby stayed quiet, trusting him completely. That trust terrified Ethan more than the alien ships. Because now he could not fail. As they reached the other side, the baby's glow changed. Thin lines of light moved gently under its skin, like a calm heartbeat. The forest behind them dimmed, as if the darkness itself was pulling back. High above, inside the alien command ship, the hunters watched in silence. The human continues to resist. One said, the child's energy is stabilizing. Another added, this should not be possible. The alien leader's eyes narrowed. The human bond is interfering, it said coldly. Remove the variable. Back on the ground, Ethan felt it. A pressure in the air. They were close again. Ethan moved into a narrow canyon between rocks where ships could not see easily. He pressed himself against the stone wall and held the baby close. I need you to listen, he whispered. I don't know if you understand words yet. The baby looked up at him. Focused. Ethan took a deep breath. I promise you something, he said. I will never give you back to them. The baby's glow brightened. They left you to die, Ethan continued, his voice shaking with anger. But you are not broken. You are not weak. The baby touched his face gently. A word formed, slow and clear. Father. Ethan closed his eyes. I don't care what the galaxy thinks, he said. From this moment on, you're my child. The canyon shook. Not from weapons. From power. The baby's glow spread outward, lighting the stone walls with soft blue light. Symbols appeared briefly in the air, ancient and unknown, then vanished. Ethan stared in shock. What did you just do? He whispered. Far above, alarms screamed inside the alien ship. The child is resonating, one alien shouted. With the human? Another asked in disbelief. No, the leader said slowly. Through the human. Back in the canyon, alien hunters appeared at both ends, blocking escape. Their weapons glowed, ready to fire. Ethan stepped forward. He raised one hand. Stop, he said. The hunters paused, not because they feared him, but because something unseen pressed against them. The baby opened its eyes fully, for the first time. It did not look like a helpless child. It looked aware. A soft wave moved through the air. Not an attack. A warning. The hunters staggered back. This is impossible. One hissed. Ethan felt strength flow through him, not physical, but steady, calm, unbreakable. You abandoned him, Ethan said loudly. You don't get to take him back. The baby leaned against his chest. The glow faded slightly. Controlled. The alien leader's voice echoed from above, cold and sharp. Human, it said. You are interfering with forces beyond your species. Ethan looked up at the dark sky, then learned something new. He replied. Silence followed. The hunters slowly retreated, pulling back into the shadows, not defeated, but uncertain. Ethan exhaled. He knew this was not over, not even close, but something had changed. The galaxy had expected a weak human. Instead, it found a father and a child who chose him. The first human noticed the fire in the forest. He was an old farmer, awake before sunrise, watching smoke rise where no fire should be. Minutes later, power flickered in the nearby town. Radios filled with static. Dogs howled and refused to calm. Down. Something was wrong. By noon, everyone felt it. A pressure in the air. A silence that did not belong. Ethan moved through the hills carefully, keeping the baby close. His arm was wrapped in cloth, blood dried but pain still sharp. The child was quiet, alert, its eyes watching the sky again and again. There. Still here. Ethan whispered. The baby did not panic. Instead, it placed its hand on Ethan's chest. Steady. They reached an old emergency shelter once used during storms. Inside, Ethan found others. Humans. A woman with a hunting rifle. Two brothers carrying tools and supplies. A former soldier with tired eyes. They all stared at the baby. No one screamed. No one ran. The woman broke the silence. That's not human. Ethan nodded. No, but he's a child. The former soldier stepped closer. He looked at the baby, then at the burns on Ethan's arm. Aliens? He asked. Yes. The soldier sighed slowly. Figures. Outside, the sky darkened as ships descended lower. This time, they did not hide. They wanted to be seen. A voice boomed across the hills, cold and mechanical. Human settlement. Surrender the child. This is your only warning. Fear spread through the shelter. Ethan stepped forward. He's not property, Ethan said. He's not yours. Silence followed, then laughter. Humans, the alien voice said. You form emotional bonds with tools. Weakness defines your species. The baby's glow shifted. Not bright. Focused. The soldier noticed it. That kid reacting to them. Yes, Ethan replied. And they're scared of it. The soldier smiled for the first time. Good, he turned to the others. We don't have ships. We don't have shields. He lifted his rifle. But we don't kneel. The ships fired warning blasts into the hills. Rocks exploded. Trees fell. Instead of running, humans came from the town. From farms. From roads and houses. They brought trucks, radios, old weapons, homemade traps. People who had never fought before stood together. Because a child was being hunted, Ethan felt it deeply. The baby felt it too. The glow spread lightly, touching those nearby. Humans felt something strange. Calm, courage, clarity. The aliens advanced. Ground troops. Tall figures moved across the land. Weapons ready. Humans struck first. Traps exploded. Vehicles ran. Alien scouts. Smoke and dust filled the air. It was messy. It was imperfect. It was human. The aliens were confused. They resist, one alien said. They are protecting the asset, another replied. Why? A third asked. They did not understand. Ethan moved through the chaos, shielding the baby. A blast knocked him down. He hit the ground hard, air leaving his lungs. The baby cried out, not in fear. In anger. A wave burst outward. Alien weapons shut down. Lights flickered. Hunters froze mid-step. Both sides stared. The baby stood barely on Ethan's chest. Small, fragile. Powerful. The alien leader's voice shook slightly. The child is amplifying through collective emotion. Humans stood taller. They had no idea how they were helping, but they did not back away. Ethan rose slowly, holding the child. You came for one life, he shouted. You got all of us instead. The alien ships began to pull back, not retreating, recalculating. This is not over, the alien leader said. The child will belong to us. Ethan looked down at the baby. The baby looked back. Clear, certain, no, the feeling spread. The alien signal cut off. The ships rose higher, watching from a distance. For now. Silence returned to the hills. Humans looked at each other, shaking, wounded. Alive. The soldier laughed softly. Guess we just told the galaxy who we are. Ethan sat down, exhausted. The baby leaned against him. Glow soft and warm. That day, humans learned something. They were not alone, and the galaxy learned something too. When humans choose to protect, they do not stop. The sky stayed quiet for 3 days. No ships, no signals, no alien voices. Humans worked together to repair damage. Fires were put out. The injured were treated. Fear slowly turned into questions. But Ethan felt it. The waiting. The baby sat in his arms, calm and silent. Its glow was different now, controlled, thoughtful. The child watched the sky as if it understood something no one else could. There. Planning, Ethan said softly. The baby did not deny it. On the 4th night, the stars disappeared. The sky went black. Not clouds. Ships. Hundreds of them. They filled the heavens like a dark ocean. Lights turned on at once, cold and endless. A voice spoke, no longer mocking. It was careful. Human Ethan, the alien leader said. You have proven persistence. Now listen. Ethan stood in the open field, humans behind him. No one forced him forward. He chose to stand there. You may keep your lives, the voice continued. But the child must return. It does not belong to your world. Ethan looked down at the baby. The child was awake. Alert. Ethan knelt. This is your choice, he said gently. I won't force you. Humans held their breath. The baby looked at the sky. Then at Ethan. A memory passed between them. The sack, the cold, the darkness. Then another memory. Warm arms. A promise. A name. Father. The baby stepped forward on its own. The ground hummed softly. The aliens reacted at once. The child is approaching surrender, one said. But the baby stopped. It turned back to Ethan. Small hands reached out. Not asking. Choosing. The baby spoke aloud for the first time. Clear, simple. My father is human. The words echoed across the field, across radios, across ships, across space. The glow around the child changed. It was no longer soft. It was steady, bright, complete. The alien fleet panicked. This is impossible. Voices overlapped. The bond is permanent, another said. The child has chosen a species. The leader whispered. Energy surged from the child, not as a weapon, but as a declaration. Systems shut down. Ships drifted, powerless but unharmed. Humans felt it. Not fear. Respect. The alien leader spoke again. Slower now. The child was abandoned due to weakness. Ethan stepped forward. You abandoned him because you don't understand love. Silence followed. The baby walked back to Ethan and placed its head against his chest. The glow softened. The power faded because it was no longer needed. After long seconds, the alien fleet began to move away. One by one, ships turned and left. Earth sky. Before the last ship vanished, a final message came. The galaxy will remember this day. The stars returned. Night became normal again. Ethan sat on the ground, holding the baby tightly. His hands trembled not from fear, but from relief. Humans slowly cheered, then laughed, then cried. The baby looked up at Ethan. Home. Ethan smiled. Yes, he whispered. Home. Far across the galaxy, alien records changed. A warning was added. Never abandon a child near humans, because humans do not see species, they see family. The galaxy did not forget. Across distant star systems, Alien councils replayed the same recordings again and again. A small child standing before an armada. A human standing beside him. No weapons raised. No fear shown. Only choice. Only family. The report was simple. The child was abandoned. The human claimed him. The child chose the human. For many species, this made no sense. For humans, it made perfect sense. On Earth, life slowly returned to normal. The damaged forest healed, the town rebuilt. People talked about the night the sky went dark, but now they spoke with pride, not fear. Ethan returned to his small house. It was repaired. Stronger than before. The baby grew. Not fast. Not slow. Naturally. His skin stayed softly blue, but the glow faded as he learned control. He laughed now. He played. He learned words. Simple ones. Food. Warm. Father. Ethan taught him everything he knew. How to walk on uneven ground. How to fix broken machines. How to be kind. The child learned quickly, but one lesson mattered most. Humans protect their own. Sometimes, late at night, Ethan would sit outside and look at the stars. The child would sit beside him, watching quietly. Do you miss them? Ethan asked once. Your people? The child thought for a long moment. Then he shook his head. I was never theirs. That answer traveled far. Alien scouts returned months later. They did not land. They watched from orbit and left without speaking. The message was clear. Earth was marked. Not as weak, but as protected. In alien schools, new rules were taught. Never abandon life without reason. Never test humans with cruelty. Never separate a human from a child. They claim. Because humans do not forget. And they do not forgive those who harm their family. Years passed. The child grew taller, smarter, stronger, but he stayed gentle. His power remained under control, not because of fear, but because of trust. One day, as they walked through the town, a young human child asked him, "Why are you different?" He smiled, "Because I was chosen." Ethan watched from behind, pride filling his chest. The galaxy continued to change. Some species began to study humans, not as warriors, but as guardians. Others tried to copy human bonding, but failed. You cannot copy love, you must choose it. One final record was added to the Galactic Archive, written in clear language for all to understand. Humans are not the strongest species. They are not the fastest. They are not the most advanced. But when a human hears a child cry, the universe should be careful. Ethan closed his eyes one night, listening to the child breathe peacefully nearby. That whisper in the dark had changed everything. They left a baby to die. Humanity answered by raising him. And the stars would remember that choice for the rest of time.